So today I'm upgrading a Dell Optiplex 960 tower, this giant tower. It already has a Intel Core 2 quad CPU, and I'm going to be installing a solid state drive, Windows 10 Pro, 8 gigabytes of DDR2 RAM, and this graphics card, which is a Gigabyte equivalent of NVIDIA GeForce 210, 1 gigabyte DDR3 card, and just a random 80 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive. So this thing can actually support up to 2 extra hard drives for a total of 3 in RAID series. I might install another one, but we'll see. So let's open this thing up and take a look inside. Okay, so we'll open up this tower and take a look inside. As you can see, it's very spacious. I think we'll start with installing the RAM. Again, 8 gigabytes of DDR2. Alright. And next we'll start with the graphics card. So in this case I've installed a regular size bracket, so it'll fit into the larger tower case. Normally this would be installed in a small form factor tower, but for today, I already have the bracket removed right here. If you're upgrading this specific tower, there's a little tab marked with a blue sticker that you can push down and pull this back, and then you'll have space to install cards onto the motherboard. So this graphics card in particular fits into the PCI slot that is black right here, and that's the top one. Lots of room for this card. Definitely not taking up a lot of space. Okay, that was very easy to install. And next we'll start with the solid state drive. Okay, I already have SATA cables installed into this, and I'm going to install this into SATA port 2. If you want to run into any problems, I'll probably experiment with installing this into different ports, such as 0. We have 0, 1, 2, and 3. Alright. And now we'll install the hard drive. In this case we have a blue caddy that we can stick this into. And just for fun, I'm going to install a second 80 gigabyte hard drive that I have laying around. Just so we can make use of every single option here. And I've got my spare SATA cable. Just in case you're curious, you can purchase these for pretty cheap off. I usually order them off eBay for just a couple dollars. With some cable management later on. For right now, we're just going to make sure everything works. Okay, so we have the RAM, graphics card, solid state drive, and 2 hard drives all installed. Let's boot this up and see if it works. Okay, so prior to installing all the upgrades, I did at least boot to BIOS and make sure that all the SATA ports were initialized and that the RAM works. This will be the first boot with everything installed though, so we'll see if we run into any problems. I also switched up the keyboards from USB to PS2, which doesn't seem to be a problem. Okay, so far so good. Cool. So I'll just zoom in a little bit here just so we can see what I'm doing. So first I'm going to go over to system board. And yeah, we have our 8 gigabytes of memory. And now I'm going to go over to drives. Okay. Looks like we are good to go. I just have to click there on SATA 3 to make sure it's all initialized, but it looks like we are good to go. So I'm going to click apply, exit, and I'm going to boot off and load up Windows 10, which I downloaded from the Microsoft Media Creation Tool online, which I can link to in the comments or in the description just in case you're not too sure where that is. Okay, so I have my USB drive installed. And when you see the Dell logo, just hit F12 to get to the boot menu. And this is another way to see if all your hard drives and solid state drives are recognized by the motherboard, because they'll all show up on the boot menu. So we'll select our USB device. And we'll just wait for Windows to load. Okay, so we're good to go again at the Windows 10 install screen. So we'll click install now. Okay, now we'll accept the license terms, hit next, install Windows only, and here is where I usually wipe all the hard drives free of all partitions and free up all the space on the hard drives. So to do that, you can enter command prompt by holding down the shift key and hitting F10. And once you have that open, you can type DISKPART for disk partition, DISKPART, hit enter, and we can type list disk to see all the disks, including the USB drive. So we'll select disk 0, 1, and 2. We'll start with 0. Select disk 0, one of the hard drives, and we'll type clean. Okay. Then select disk 1, which is the solid state drive. Clean that. And disk 2, the other 80 or 75 gigabyte hard drive. So once you're done cleaning all the disks, just type exit, and then exit again, and hit refresh. Alright, now we'll select the solid state drive and resume with the installation of Windows. So I'll let this install and then we'll come back and test it out, test out some games, see how it streams video, and just overall see how well this works in 2020. Okay, so Windows 10 has been installed, And what I'm going to do is just run some updates. And then I'll get to installing Steam and just thoroughly testing this machine and seeing what it's capable of. So before I move on to downloading and installing Steam and testing out some games, I'll just show how I set up all the hard drives in the tower. So you hit the Windows key and you can type partition. And we want to go to create and format disk partitions or disk management. In this case, we can click OK to initialize the disks. And we'll see here we have disk 0 and disk 2. So we want to right click, specifically where the black bars are. Click New Simple Volume. And next. And next. You can assign a drive letter. We'll just stick with D. Hit next. And next for a quick format and setup. Alright, and we'll repeat the process for the other hard drive right here. Okay, so now that the drives are all set up for use, what I like to do is migrate. I usually let the solid state drive, since I typically install only up to maybe 120 gigabytes. I'll let that stay as the boot drive and maybe run some games off of it, but I'll migrate documents, downloads, pictures, music, and video files, and all the default save locations to the external storage. So I'll just demonstrate how to do that really quick. So I'll go in File Manager. Off to the left, I'll click on Downloads, right click, hit Properties, click on Location, and we'll click on Move. And we'll select New Volume D. Click on New Folder. You can type in Downloads. And then select Folder. Click Apply. Yes. And I'll repeat that process for the rest of the main major file folders on the system. Another thing I like to do is change the default save locations. So you can do that by clicking the Windows key, type in default, navigate down to default save locations, and we'll just change it all to volume D for now. And this is just to make sure that everything is going to be saved, not on the solid state boot drive. Okay, so I'll continue on with this process and also download Steam, and we'll get to testing this out. Okay, the first games test is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, and we'll see how it runs. So far so good. I have to remember how to play this game, that's all. Oh, there's not a ton of action in the first bit of the game, so, but anyway, it seems to run pretty well. Alright, before I stop testing this game, I'm just gonna show some action. We'll bash with the plasma torch. Well, anyway, this game seems to work perfectly fine. Okay, for game number 2, I'll try some King Rabbit. Alright, and one more game. Alright, and we'll try out some Left 4 Dead 2. Whoop. Whoop.
Alright, I'm not walking through that. Let's find another way.
Yeah, this game actually seems to run really well.
Damn it, elevator's out.
Yeah, we'll just try some general web surfing now. Things like YouTube.
With Triangle credit cards, getting the things you love from your favorite stores is easy.
That was right.
Parents?
We used to be married. They're big, they're ugly, and they're coming to get us. It's the invasion of the Monster King crab.
Grab one of the legs. The claws are very strong, so they can snap the finger and even
Yeah.
Okay, and some Netflix.
Adjust our ports to match.
Thank you.
The Kardashians claim they forced the Maquis ship into a plasma storm where it was destroyed. But our drones haven't picked up any debris.
Plasma storm, I know.
Fine. Now let's move on to the personnel situation.
Hey. Alright, why don't we try a little test run here? Let's imagine we're...
Okay, and finally some word processing. Of course, something like OpenOffice can run on something much less powerful than this machine, but still, it's a test. So as long as you manage your expectations, play games within the capability of the system, there's a lot of life left in the Dell Optiplex 960. The added option of having multiple storage devices can mean you can turn this into like a mini media server. You could add a better graphics card, more RAM, another SSD. There's some really good possibilities with this machine that I would like to explore. So hopefully you learned something, and hopefully this video helped you out. And thanks for watching.